Welcome everybody to the first WWE video of 2020 here on the Rob LaBarbera Show, and with our first video of 2020, we have a very special guest with us to cover a very special event, the Royal Rumble. And would you like to introduce yourself to the audience?
Hi, audience. I am Laura.
She is awesome. I just stopped her from
Awesome.
Only fitting because we're talking about wrestling. She got me into wrestling, knows a lot more than I do, very savvy.
Sort of savvy.
Watches the best brand that WWE has to offer. Obviously. NXT. Too bad we are not doing anything with NXT because we forgot to do something for Worlds Collide, but we will.
Well, basically, our prediction is NXT US wins everything because it makes no sense for UK to win any of them, even though they're trying to push that brand. So I don't know what they're going to do. I'm going to be very surprised by pretty much all of it, I think.
Bonus predictions.
Bonus
predictions here for you. But we're going to jump straight on into the first match that I have written down at least, which is Andrade and Humberto Carrillo for the U.S. Championship.
I really, really want Humberto to win, but I do not think he's going to, but it would be amazing if he did.
I don't think he will either.
They're not going to.
I mean, Andrade had been on Raw for so long. He's been there a while.
He has been there a while. They finally gave him a belt.
They gave him something, and he's doing well with it. He's playing this character
All he's been doing is fighting Rey Mysterio, though.
Those matches have been incredible, though.
Some of them. They've gotten a little old. But I'm appreciating that they're letting him fight someone else now. And I like that Humberto came back to defend. I believe it was Rey Mysterio again.
Yes. Yeah.
And so that's the only reason I could see them maybe giving him the belt, is because it's like, I've returned and championing, and I'm gonna slay the dragon. I don't know what
Andrade.
I don't know what Andrade
the Mexican dragon.
The Mexican.
Yeah,
I don't know how to say Draco.
It is. There is a level of ambiguity with what they're gonna do, but
that comes with every match.
That's very true, but I am on the boat of I'd be surprised. One, if this is on the main card, this might be a pre-show match.
Yeah, that would make sense.
And I think Zelina Vega is helping him win every match because he's a heel.
Well, she's always helped him win every match except when they fought for like 2 seconds and
for like 1 week.
Yeah.
So I think we're both on board with the Andrade selection here.
Yeah. So it should be an interesting match with that pair, though. Mm-hmm. They get some cool stuff in.
So Andrade retaining
the
U.S. Championship.
Yeah.
And the next match we're going to jump on into is Sheamus versus, and we just decided we are not calling him what they are calling him. It's Chad Gable. We're not calling him his ring name.
I appreciate that it gave him a personality to some extent and that he's able to step into something and do something, but it's just terrible. Just terrible.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's kind of vintage WWE, though, isn't it?
I mean, you mean terrible?
Anyways, I think this is going to be another. I think the 2 matches we've done so far are going to be the pre-show.
Yeah, as soon as you mentioned this match was happening, I was like, oh, is it on the pre-show?
I even jumped on Twitter, and like half of the people who commented on it were like, oh, pre-show. That's got to be a pre-show match. Sheamus has to win this match, though.
Yeah,
right?
It's his return. He's going to win. Or some shenanigans. But I don't know who would even do that to make Sheamus lose. Like
Chad Gable, Jason Jordan comes back and
God,
helps
please,
out.
no. Just no.
I think this one's pretty easy.
Yeah.
It's going to be good to see.
It'll still be a good match.
The fella come back and everything, but fella. I'd be very surprised if
he says that so he doesn't use a curse word. Because the good old Irish people tend to curse a lot. It's true.
You do a very good Irish accent.
Thank you.
Yeah, you do a very, very nice one. But
I lose it and become Minnesotian very quickly.
Fire to go. Oh, fire to go. That was almost like Scottish.
What's that about? I know my. Anyway, we don't need to talk.
So because we're using more time talking about accents than the actual match, I think that will show our opinions on this. So Sheamus wins this one pretty easily, and I think we're just going to kind of end it at that.
It'll still be fun because they're still 2 very good competitors.
And our third match on this card is going to be King Corbin versus Roman Reigns in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Why is this match happening?
I don't know.
Why is this match even happening? Like, it's like, oh, we're going to put this...
I forgot. I didn't even realize it was on the card. I was like, aren't they just both in the Rumble?
They are both in the Rumble.
So
Yeah, they are both.
are they just going to fight in the Rumble again and disqualify themselves, each other? That would be amazing.
I don't know, but it's fun because it's like the main event of every SmackDown. Oh, it's going to be Roman Reigns versus either like Bobby Roode, Dolph Ziggler, or Baron Corbin.
Or all three.
But they didn't do that this week.
They opened with it.
They opened with it and did that cool contract signing with the Fiend instead. But we'll get to him later. It's a Falls Count Anywhere match. Oh, another guest appearance.
Ooh. Hello.
Kitty.
This is Crowley. Hi, Crowley. Crowley loves me.
I think Baron Corbin is going to win this match probably because it's a Falls Count Anywhere match, so it's no DQ. So Dolph Ziggler's going to do something. Bobby Roode's going to do, and like the Usos are probably going to help out Roman, but defeat into.
Well, but usually faces don't. They won't interfere until the heels interfere, and it could very well be a clean quote unquote match because everybody's getting ready for the Rumble. So like, which of any of those 6 people who aren't in the Rumble? Are any of those 6 people not in the Rumble? We're just gonna have a friend here.
A little cat in there.
Hey.
Yeah, I mean,
I honestly don't know who would win this.
I think it's gonna be Baron.
I literally don't care. I think that's the main thing.
That's probably. I feel like that's the pulse of the universe right now.
It's a pointless match. It doesn't affect anything. Everybody I think is just tired of this feud.
It might affect something.
How?
It might.
If one of them is like, "Oh, I'm too beat up to go into the Rumble."
Yep.
I could see, yeah.
Yep.
But that might ruin a later prediction too.
We'll get to that later.
So
what's your prediction? If you were to pick one of the two, I mean,
do I have a coin to flip?
In any sort of like no DQ match,
usually the heel has the advantage.
I'll go with the heel.
The heel
if I
has
don't
the
really
advantage.
Know it. And like Ziggler has been just doing off the cuff stuff. Not off the cuff. That's the wrong term. But he's been doing grunt work for him forever now.
Well, yeah, so, it's unfortunate for him because I think he's significantly he's just better than Baron Corbin. Yeah, well, you know my opinion of Roman Reigns that I've had.
I do. So if you were to pick one of the two, though,
I'm going to say Baron Corbin because I kind of hate Roman Reigns as a WWE star. Like, yay, beating cancer, but I still don't want to watch him in the ring.
That's all fair. I mean,
like I said, I felt that way about him since he started. Like since the Shield moved up, and because I was only watching that at that point, I not liked him. I liked Seth Rollins when he defected from the Shield and became a heel. I was like, I like that guy.
You still like that guy?
I still like that guy.
So yeah, I think we're both on board with Baron Corbin though. So Baron Corbin wins this Falls Count Anywhere match. And our next match we are covering is Bayley versus Lacey Evans for the SmackDown Women's Championship. This is kind of a long time coming, I think, because like they've been doing this like Lacey Evans Sasha Banks thing for like a month and a half now, and it's like I think they've only wrestled once.
Well, yeah, because Sasha Banks keeps like, I've got to go on a rap album. Sorry, I don't like Sasha.
I would love for that rap album to come out because it's probably terrible.
Oh, well, no, it actually may not be terrible because I mean, I am positive Snoop Dogg is helping her a lot.
Cousins.
But anyway, what do you think?
I think Lacey Evans is going to walk out with the SmackDown Women's Championship. This heel Bayley thing is not working. It's
really not.
Sasha is propelling her character.
Yeah,
like Sasha is doing the character work for her.
But that's my problem with this fight. It's like Lacey Evans has had a feud with Sasha, so she's fighting Bayley. It's like this isn't a payoff for that feud. It's just this random. But it makes more sense. Like to me, I'm fine with giving her a title. I would be totally fine with her taking Bayley. Bayley's had that title for a very long time. Like you said, she's not like she does not work as a heel. She's a great face.
I think she's the longest reigning SmackDown Women's Champion now.
Really?
Yeah, I think she is the longest reigning SmackDown Women's Champion at this point now.
But how many times has she defended that championship?
That's a good question. I can't
even remember the last time she actually defended it.
Yeah, because that thing she did last week when Lacey beat her, it was non-title.
Yeah, or she wouldn't
SmackDown
be the champion anymore.
Or she wouldn't be the champion anymore.
We wouldn't be having this conversation.
I mean, come Sunday, I don't think she will be the champion. I think that they're going to try and pay off this face turn for Lacey. And fans are getting behind her too.
I agree with all of that, but I don't think she's going to win. I'm going to say that there's going to be some kind of shenanigans and Bayley's going to retain and they might push this to WrestleMania. Just to be contrary, well, I'm countering you for the first time.
Yes, yeah, very much so. But I mean, storyline wise, I think that makes more sense. I think that having Bayley be your champion going into WrestleMania is a lot stronger than having Lacey as your champion.
And it gives you a heel to have people rally against.
Well, and if a SmackDown superstar wins the Women's Rumble, it's going to be hard for them to bill.
This even see, I love it. This works even better for me picking Bayley. I'm going to pick Bayley.
So we're going to differ a little bit on this one. So we'll see how this one works out. But I'm going with Lacey. You're going with Bayley.
Retention.
Let's leave it at that. And our next match is the Raw Women's Championship with Women's Tag Team Champion Asuka going against Becky Lynch for, as I said before, the Raw Women's Championship. And before we go in, I would like to just comment, and I told you about this off air a bit as well. I really appreciate what Becky Lynch is doing for the build up to this match, where she's billing, like she's talking about Asuka like she is
the insurmountable foe that she never could beat, which is true.
But
true. If you also think about Becky Lynch back then, she was getting beat all the time.
So the funny thing is, so last night I actually rewatched Asuka and Becky Lynch's match for the SmackDown Championship from last year. Because we were actually at that event and we could not see the ring.
Yeah, it was like
I didn't get to actually see what happened.
We might have also been blind during that fight.
Yes, we definitely were.
Lights.
Yep, we definitely were.
Can I give advice to anybody who wants to go to a wrestling pay-per-view? If it's in a baseball stadium,
don't go.
No. Don't go. Don't buy seats on the floor. It's a waste of money. Unless you can afford to get like ringside or barricade side, you ain't gonna see anything.
Yeah, we were in the second section of.
And like I know multiple people who had seats up in the stands, and they're like, "Oh, what are you talking about? It was amazing." I'm like, "Yeah." So that's my advice to anybody. I would say that if you ever have an opportunity to go to WrestleMania as well, because it's the same idea.
Yeah.
Tiny ring, big arena.
When I watched the match last year, the story going into that match was Becky saying, "Asuka, you can't beat me," which I thought was really interesting because a year later now it's flipped.
The other way around.
But that's because Becky Lynch was the one who needed to be pushed going into WrestleMania. Like she was trying to portray herself as this number one person. I mean, that's what her gimmick is essentially. And Asuka won it because Ronda Rousey, Asuka did not need to be pumped up at that point. But now at this point, because Asuka's been out of the singles scene for so long, I just really appreciate what Becky Lynch has done to make Asuka seem so
Becky Lynch has found a good role for herself in this company, I think, but I've kind of been sick of her for a long time.
You were sick of her almost the second she turned. When everybody
she never turned, but I'm that way in general. I'm like, I was never a huge Becky Lynch fan, and then it suddenly became everybody was a fan, and I'm just sitting here going, so I never jumped on that bandwagon. I've always liked her, just I tended to defer to liking the person she was fighting, except for Ronda Rousey, because we don't need to go into that whole backstory.
So now that we've splurged on things not about the match, what do you think will be the outcome of the match?
Oh, Becky's winning.
Yeah, I'm going to vote Becky Lynch as well.
Unfortunately, because I do think Asuka is far better than her, and I would love to see her win a singles title, but the fact that she and Kairi Sane are one of two
tag teams on Raw.
Teams, or even in the you keep there are additional female tag teams on SmackDown, but they're also just singles competitors who tag up sometimes.
Well, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville are the only real one, and the Iconics, but the Iconics
are
for so long.
They're last I saw they were doing something on NXT or something. I don't even know.
They were probably defending their belts.
They don't have belts.
But I'm saying that's how long ago it might have been.
Oh yeah. They never had belts. Oh yeah. Anyway,
they won the belts at WrestleMania.
No,
what are you talking about?
I thought you meant NXT belts. I'm like, they don't have those. Sorry, that's not the point. They're not the point. They're not giving Asuka 2 belts basically, and they're not going to let Becky drop this belt. The only way, and we brought this up discussing it as if there is like shenanigans, which is always the,
Yeah,
default
Kairi
thing.
Sane
If
does
Kairi
something
Sane
like
does something so that Asuka wins, it's going to build up a feud even bigger for WrestleMania for Becky to win her belt back.
Yes, which
It could
to
happen,
me,
but I don't see it.
if this match happens, we're gonna know the outcome of this match based on who wins the Rumble. If the Women's Rumble is before it, I don't think it will be. But if a Raw superstar wins the Royal Rumble for the women's, Becky is definitely keeping the belt.
Yeah.
But if a SmackDown person wins the Women's Rumble,
Rumble.
I think that opens the door for Asuka, because then you can have Asuka Becky Lynch at WrestleMania.
Yeah, because there's...
It's better for the story.
It would be.
Because this
Well-
is actually a good storyline. They've actually done some pretty good character
Well, yeah,
work.
and it would be really cool to have it be that, like, they keep pushing that Asuka... My cat's going to try and bite me. I'm sorry. So I'm not... like, I really want to gesture, but he's got the crazy eyes. That Asuka's the one she can't beat. So if she doesn't beat her, it really reiterates that, and then they can keep building on that to go into WrestleMania. I'm watching him.
I think we're just going to go ahead and say Becky Lynch, though, retains for this one. We're going to try and do something with the cat. So,
Your eyes are dilating. You're so cute.
so yes, Becky Lynch does retain her Raw Women's Championship. Nope, there it was.
I'm gonna just bring it.
And our...
Sorry.
And I'm leaving that in. And our next match is our final singles match of the event for Sunday. This is the Fiend Bray Wyatt versus Daniel Bryan in a strap match, which I had never heard of before this. And I was like, oh, he has to strap him down. Like, this is how you beat the Fiend. You don't have to pin him. You just tie him to something. They're like, no, I'm going to be attached to the Fiend by like a leather strap. I'm like,
What? I'm not even sure I've heard of this before. They did a lot of crazy, weird stuff back in the day that I'm sure, like, you could find even weirder things far back, but I've never heard of this. I was like...
I mean, it's an considering they've already had a match already.
Yeah.
They have, right? They've had a match.
I think, yeah, because, well, he is already on the
because that's when
wall.
he shaved the...
No, he just dragged him into the ring when he shaved him. Thank God, by the way. Daniel Bryan, you look so much better now. Keep shaving your beard.
Yeah, maybe they haven't had an actual match yet.
Because so the Fiend faced
Miz-
Seth Rollins
Yes, at Crown Jewel when he won the belt.
when he won the belt, and since then he's faced...
What was after that?
Well, he had a
was
fight.
before
He had a fight
Survivor
with
Series?
Finn Balor, and Finn Balor disappeared, and then came
SummerSlam.
back. Remember, everybody's coming back as heels.
Well,
Or,
everybody
like,
turns.
flipping.
Whoever the Fiend fights, they turn. Which
turn.
the Miz is now turning back
Back to being a heel
to be
because
a heel now.
John Morrison.
Yeah, John Morrison. I'm happy he's back. So, regardless of that whole thing, I think Bray Wyatt retains this title. I think Bray Wyatt retains. He's got.
I can't argue because
You have.
it doesn't make
keep-
sense to give it to Daniel Bryan at this point. But then it's also like, okay, so who do you put up against the Fiend next? Because he's becoming.
You know exactly who they're putting against the Fiend next. You know exactly who that is.
Brock. No, I don't know.
Brock Lesnar. And he goes back onto SmackDown.
And then both belts
takes both
disappear
belts.
forever.
We'll get to him later. But I think that they're gonna. I would like to see Bray Wyatt hold that title into WrestleMania, and actually give Bray
Okay,
Wyatt
so aside
a
from
WrestleMania
Brock
match that
Lesnar-
doesn't stink.
Who would he fight though? Who would you put him up against?
Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
I'll get to that in my Rumble prediction.
Okay then.
Yeah, I'll get to that in my Rumble prediction. Yes.
Yes, you will.
Yeah, I will. So that's
I
why
mean-
I think Bray Wyatt retains.
But I don't want you to be right.
I don't want to be right either. I don't want to be. I will get to that.
Yeah, we'll get there.
to that. But
So I'm going.
I think the match type favors the Fiend too. Like you're telling me this dude's finisher is the mandible claw, and you want to be this
close
close
to
to
him
him the
yeah,
entire
no,
match?
I
Okay,
agree.
good luck with that. Like,
Yeah, well, it would have made what you said initially if you, but that even didn't make sense when you. Anyway, sure, we'll go with the Fiend. Just because I don't see them letting him drop that title this quickly. Because at this point, if you're gonna have one champion who's never around, never defends his belt, shows up for 3 minutes and says one line after he F5s or
I thought you were talking about Bray for a second. I was
no,
like, Bray's there.
he does.
just
He
not
shows up. He
really.
doesn't. He just doesn't really do anything.
He's there.
But
every
he
week,
does
though.
more than. My point is that Brock Lesnar is a terrible champion. He comes, he shows, he maybe says one sentence if you're lucky, and suplexes Ricochet, which is tragic. And
Yeah,
yeah,
you have 5 Dark Truth. But.
well, he probably F5 both of them because they realized suplexing someone for a 12-minute match is really boring. Anyway,
The Fiend
the
retains.
Fiend. The Fiend.
And yes, I'll get into my rationale on that later. All right, and we will jump into our first of the 2 Rumble matches. This will be the Women's Royal Rumble match, and this is one that we haven't had a lot of off-camera discussion on. So
Because there hasn't been a lot of on-camera via the shows.
That's true.
It's like nobody's mentioned it. Like,
They did last night though on SmackDown.
Because
we were sitting in the bar and I was like, oh, Dana Brooke and Carmella are in
Yes.
the Women's Rumble, and
And
like Charlotte
just-
declared for the Rumble.
oh,
Charlotte's
Charlotte,
in
of
it.
course, Charlotte's in it.
But yes, I think you know who I'm picking, but I don't know who you were picking. So you want me to go? I can go first.
You can go first.
So I think Sasha Banks wins the Women's Rumble. Which goes into my theory of Lacey Evans winning the SmackDown Women's Championship. Like, that's the only feud I think that would make sense going into WrestleMania, and it would give Sasha a win at WrestleMania, I would think. And it
You
would
just
give
want
Sasha, the
Sasha
belt.
to win
I do
something.
like Sasha Banks, but
You do like
I mean, even then, though, storyline-wise, that makes sense.
Well,
The problem with it, though, is you've now played Ring Around the Rosie with this title with 3 people for 3 months, which I don't like it.
I don't like, but they are notorious for doing
Yes,
that
so-
in WWE.
I think Sasha Banks does make the most sense, though. Charlotte doesn't need it. Charlotte absolutely does not need it. I don't even know if the mass of people want to watch Charlotte in another WrestleMania title match.
Which again does not mean they won't do it
yeah,
because
this is very true.
they have got
Like-
the giantest for
Yes.
Charlotte Flair.
Yes, well,
Which-
she's a Flair.
I love Charlotte Flair. I think she's phenomenal, but I haven't missed her. Frankly,
Like-
she's been MIA for a while.
I think Sasha makes sense. Kairi Sane would make sense if Asuka wins the belt. That
Kairi
would
Sane
be
is never
interesting.
gonna win
That's
that title.
Not gonna happen.
Not gonna
though.
win that title.
It's not gonna happen. Natalia would be really interesting.
I
which
would love to see that just
would be
because
cool, but we get Becky and Natalia.
I can't do my little heart for little Natalia
The
because
Heart Foundation is, yeah.
no, it was yeah.
That
but
worked out.
Help me.
That
help
worked
me.
out. Hearts for
Aw,
heart.
heart for heart. Partially because she has gotten shafted by this company over and over and over and over and over and over again, and it would be wonderful to let her win something.
A returning Naomi could win the Rumble, which would be very cool as well. Won't happen. though.
Won't happen. No.
I think
I would like to see her return. I do agree that would be cool because she's always fun in Rumbles.
the superstar that has been most prominently featured and in the highest card order, if that makes sense. Like, she's in the title picture all the time. She's always around the title. She's a big name. I think Sasha Banks wins the Rumble. Like,
I don't think they like her though, or she would have had something by now.
well, they wouldn't have resigned her if they didn't like her. I mean, that's true
Or
though,
if they didn't
because
think
there's-
she was good for the business.
But I'm gonna go with Sasha.
I am also going to go with a SmackDown superstar.
I thought you were gonna say you're going with Sasha too, and I'm
No.
like, oh,
Um,
you're going with Nikki Cross?
No, Alexa Bliss.
You're going with Alexa Bliss, okay.
Because I just I honestly, I do think the storyline of Sasha Banks would be interesting, but I think it'd be more interesting if Bayley wins because then you can have, like I was saying last night, Sasha turn on Bayley and Bayley can go back to being a face where she's much more comfortable and works better. But I want to see something different and I want to see more from Alexa Bliss because I like her a lot and I feel like she had a lot of concussion issues the last couple of years, so she was kind of stepped down a little bit. And I just want to see her win.
Yeah, I mean, this
You have a much
year's-
more realistic and reasoned out
This year's Rumble
choice.
is super interesting because last year we both walked in, we're like, we know who's winning
Well,
every
everything,
single
yeah,
match.
it was very
and we
predictable.
picked every match right, so at some point, like having a Rumble match where I'm like, I don't know who's going to win, like I like that.
Yeah,
I'm excited
it's very,
for this Women's Rumble.
especially the women's Rumble. I think it's very much, it could really go anyway. They could use it to support either belt or go after either belt. I think it makes more sense for the SmackDown one because why is this face?
I just thought of something.
Oh no.
So remember when we were talking about, of course you people wouldn't know this, but we were talking about how many NXT people are going to be in the Rumble? What if Shayna Baszler wins the Women's Rumble
Oh,
and
she
goes
doesn't
after Becky
know.
Lynch
Oh, that would be
and
interesting.
continues that feud from
Yeah,
Survivor
but they
Series?
basically have made a big hoo-ha about her staying on NXT.
I'm also giving them way too much credit to even think
Honestly,
about
that
doing
would probably be one of the better choices because NXT has a lot better women competitors on it.
Well, I mean, they might even put some NXT matches on the WrestleMania card at this point.
They better.
Well, there's a takeover for Tampa. There's takeover
that's
Tampa.
right.
So that would be my only detractor.
Yeah,
for
but
them
they
not doing all of it.
but they did that for Survivor Series. This is another
they
reason.
shafted them because they had to work so many matches in a row.
Yeah, but they won
like-
everything at Survivor Series basically.
Yeah, they did.
And it really illustrated how incredible the people on NXT are is because they were working nonstop. But quick shout out for Adam Cole. That guy was a freaking workhorse during that
I think he was missing.
month.
He has like a.
And he still has a screwed up hand,
his
and
wrist
he
is
was
all screwed up.
fighting with like a broken or a fractured wrist.
Yep.
And he's been doing it for months. And he just keeps coming back and pissing people off and winning matches.
So yes, I'm going with Sasha Banks, and you're
Alexa
going
Bliss.
with. I almost said Nikki Cross again. You are going with.
You just like Nikki Cross better
Well,
than Alexa Bliss.
For whatever reason, I got it in my head that because the photo I downloaded for this match has Nikki Cross on it. I think.
Interesting.
It has Alexa Bliss on it too, though. So
That makes sense.
yeah. So
Tag
those are our
team?
predictions for this one. So. And our final match of this Royal Rumble event is the Royal Rumble match for the men. Another one where I don't have any idea where they're. I've had a preconceived notion of what is that even the right term? Like I've had an idea of what they are going to do.
You decided who was going to win like 3-4 months ago.
Yeah, a long
He's just
time
decided.
ago. And I've been dreading it, and I'm like, I don't want this to happen. And like part of it is because I predicted it so early, but they could very well not do what I think that they're going to do. And I hope they don't. I've talked to you of who I really want to win this match, but I'll get into that after my prediction. But I would like to hear from you. No.
You go first.
I did the women's one first.
So?
Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is winning the Royal Rumble. He is going to go to WrestleMania and beat The Fiend for the Universal Championship. Even your phone agrees. Yeah.
Somebody just won.
The story writes itself, and like at some point I don't want that to happen, or if it does happen I want Bray Wyatt to beat him, but again I'm booking months in advance at this point. But they've kept Roman out of the title picture for so long. He's
And
a
that's
top
perfectly
flight
fine.
superstar, and they've been really patient. Like you can't get mad at him. He's came back.
I'm not
over
mad
a
at him.
year ago.
I'm fine with. He's been doing great, staying on his side and eating dog food with Baron
They
Corbin.
haven't done that yet. They haven't done that
He
yet.
shoved it down his throat.
Did
like,
he really?
A
Oh my
month
God.
ago, he was like,
I
he
tend to
tied
not
him
pay
to the
attention
ring.
to that because I'm like, I don't.
You don't pay attention. Like, I'm the one who doesn't pay attention to SmackDown, and you're like,
I love
oh,
SmackDown,
he does love SmackDown.
Heavy machinery, baby.
NXT, all the way.
So yeah, I think it's gonna be Roman. I just think that makes the most sense. If I'm looking at like odds and stuff, that just makes the most sense to me.
I'll give you that Roman Reigns is probably one of the only people left, at least on SmackDown, because even I was saying earlier, like, who are you going to throw at the Fiend at this point? Like,
I think Roman's the only guy you
you've
can.
pushed them away, or they've already fought him and lost. And not that they don't like throwing the same people at people again, but the same thing can be said for Brock Lesnar. Like,
Braun Strowman?
yeah.
Probably either Roman or Braun, and that's
But
it.
I don't. The problem is like they've had the opportunity for Braun Strowman, and they keep
Cesaro.
would be better. But as like even you said, he has the A-lister presence
Yeah.
because they shoved him into it, and then everybody seems to love him now for some reason. Oh, I know exactly why they love him now, which I am like, that's cool. Totally support all of that. But
Who do you have?
who do I
We
have?
won't talk about Roman anymore. Who do you have?
I wanted to pick another complete dark horse and say John Morrison because he just came back, but I don't think he's
We're
gonna
gonna throw
win.
John Morrison at the Fiend.
I mean, he's one of those who's gonna be. He's like one of, again, the most fun people to watch in a Rumble. Like, and I just want him and Kofi to be in there at the same time. That's
They've been feuding them with
just
each other already.
literally
so.
just to watch, to have fun and enjoy it. what I want to happen. This is what I want to happen because I just came up with it in my brain. Because I was thinking at this point, I want someone to take the title away from Brock Lesnar.
So you need a Raw guy to win.
So I need a Raw guy to win. And looking like just off the top of my head,
You're gonna pick the same guy that I think that I want to have win.
probably not.
Okay.
Because Seth Rollins would make sense because he's pulling this whole Messiah, but you can't have heels going after heels. It's very rare. But with the whole plot line they're pushing with them, what I want to happen is to have like Buddy Murphy screw over Seth Rollins and win the Rumble.
You want Buddy Murphy?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because he's incredible.
I thought you'd go with Drew McIntyre.
That would be also a good choice, but I don't see them.
That's who
he wants to win.
Win it.
I would be actually very happy about that, but I don't see them letting him beat Brock Lesnar. Not that I see them letting
Buddy Murphy beat Brock Lesnar.
But I like Buddy Murphy a lot. I do actually really, really like Drew McIntyre too. So I'm gonna pick anyone on Raw.
Aleister Black?
Aleister Black.
Heyman supposedly really likes him.
Yes, I'm gonna
supposedly
pick
really likes him.
I'm gonna be like the commentator. I'm the color commentator. If you haven't noticed this, so I can change my choice. Because if you've ever, I mean, obviously, if you're watching this right now, you've watched
Some
wrestling.
people might not.
I'm saying
There's plenty of people who watch my NFL stuff who don't really watch football.
Especially like, I think Jerry Lawler is notorious for this, where he will change his
That's
pick.
my pick.
That's my pick.
My new pick.
That's my new pick. You picked 5 people already. I can do that too. I've just decided. So Aleister Black, because he is amazing, and he did beat Buddy Murphy like 4 times in a row.
Be a good match. I'd be fine with that. Yeah, I'd be fine with anybody on Raw, but I'm going Roman. I don't think
Aleister Black, fade to black.
I can do that. I can do that.
The roundhouse kick.
No, yes, but
or this.
No, no. The video was like as we're talking.
Or play the
we're gonna
music.
be in darkness.
Oh,
we're gonna be in darkness as I'm saying this.
I'm like that could mean any number of things.
And we're back. Thank you so much for watching our first. I almost said first Royal Rumble.
Ooh, what if Kane comes back?
And what was the Rumble? He probably will come back. I mean, he came back a couple weeks ago. But anyways, thank you very much for watching our first video of 2020.
I'd be happy with Big Show winning. That's a Raw. But I'm staying with Aleister Black.
This is what this Rumble has brought us to. We're just spitballing people.
I'm literally just throwing out a name. Mostly because I just don't want Roman Reigns to win, so I'm refusing to pick him.
Her pick is anybody but Roman. Kurt Hawkins. Santino Marella. A returning Santino
Marella. Oh!
Thank you very much for watching our first WWE video of the year. Please be sure to comment what you think down below if you think we're wrong.
Push the like button. That's a thing they say on YouTube.
Punch the like button. Push the like button. I don't do something with the like button.
Suplex it.
No.
DDT. Bulldog.
Starship Pain the like
Starship
button.
Pain it. No, that's not the way. Just push it.
Yeah, just push it. Push it real good. Be sure to subscribe as well and stay tuned for our Takeover Portland video, which will be coming out next month. And I hope you enjoy the Rumble. Enjoy your week.
Ooh, pick something for Worlds Collide.
We did it at the beginning of the video.
We didn't say. Oh, all I said was all of NXT, not UK people. Imperium.
I'm gonna pick Undisputed Era. I think Undisputed Era. But thank you for watching to the end of the video for our Worlds Collide prediction. Thank you once again very much, and I hope you enjoy your week and have a good one.